guys. So we talked about the waterfall last time. Now, boom, here we are on Vanguard. What is Vanguard? Well, Vanguard just happens to be my company's 401k place, right? My last company, I had Merrill Lynch, and that's who Franklin Templeton paired with. Right now, it's Vanguard, blah, blah, blah. So I have a 401k through them, right, in my waterfall. Now I'm here on Vanguard. Next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to log in, right? So traditionally, you go through your HR company or HR department is going to give you steps as how you sign up, right? And then eventually, I'll show you. I'm going to log into my account, all that fun stuff, and then we will talk about like what do I do. So as soon as I log in, volatile markets, new webinar. Oh my God, money to be made. Okay, let's just like take a break, exit out of that. This is what my account looks like. As you can see, I'm broke. And so it's usually not a positive thing to have no money in your 401k. Long story short, I'm rolling my 401k into this 401k. So I came from my last company. They call it rolling, right? I can basically call my company and be like, hey, I don't work for you anymore. Can I put the money in my other account? And they go, all right, who do we send the check to? And you go, Vanguard. And they go, all right, what's your name? And so in a week or two, or I don't know, coronavirus making everything take forever, eventually I'll have some dollars here, right? And so then the question becomes like, what do I invest in? So typically when you're going to sign up for the account, I'm going to go to like my account and I got to go to like manage investments, right? So manage investments, and let's go to reallocate account balance. I think this is good. Good. Okay, here we are. So typically with a 401k, there's like cookie cutter things that you can invest in. And typically there's some option that is good. Good as in not great, but fine, right? And it's free. You don't have to manage it, meaning like they pick the stocks or bonds or whatever allocation you want, right? So these are all the options I had when I signed up for my account, right? Vanguard Target Retirement 2065. Well, what does that mean? All right, well, it means like if I'm planning to retire in the year 2065, which is what, 45 years from now? Yeah, 45 years from now. I'm not planning on retiring in 45 years, right? So let's pick something. Let's just say I'm planning on retiring 45 years. It's easy, right? So what they're going to do is if I'm planning on retiring 45 years, typically what investment platforms or traditional money management will do is they're going to put you like in all stocks when you're young, right? So there's your Apples and your Googles and your Facebooks, right? And everything, right? And then as you get older, they'll start pushing and allocating toward like bonds and stuff. So if you really don't want to manage your money, these are great options because they're going to pan out and do all the rebalancing of your portfolio for you. And so if you don't want to pay attention, which like my 401k, I really don't want to, um, because I want to worry about other things like my current career or, my kid or anything like that. Um, right. This is it. If I want to worry about my own money, right, that's when I like worry about my brokerage accounts. Like how am I actually trading? So for this is just high level, right? Do I pick something? So for myself, right, and again, this is not a recommendation for you. I just picked the Vanguard 500 index. So I clicked on this guy, right, and I read about him, um, and I knew, okay, this guy is pretty much the S&P 500. Okay, the S&P 500 is just the 500 biggest stocks. It's traditionally an index, and this is Vanguard's version of it. This is how we try to track the market, the S&P 500. So for me, I'm young, right? I mean, relatively speaking, just to be younger, right? I'm 28 right now. So I'm like, hey, yeah, the S&P 500 is cool for me. I don't need anything fancy. I just picked this guy, and I just picked, 100% allocation, meaning so it's just going to distribute to the S&P 500. This is their ETF, and just 100% of my allocations will go there. If I click rebalance, right, it would change it, right? But you can see all these other things, right? Oh, here's a growth index. Here's a Vanguard small cap, right? Here's real estate. Like, there's like so many different ways, right? Everybody's trying to sell you a product or something, and they all make money in some version, right? So just read through them and just see like what sounds best for you. Typically, like I said, you don't have to manage this money, and that's kind of what you want to do, right? This is money you tuck away and you can't touch it until you're, depends, right? If you have an IRA or whatever, 59 and a half, 65, just depends, right? So anyways, thanks. That's typically how I would, allocate to my Vanguard account. And then eventually every paycheck will just come into my Vanguard account, right? So I have some contribution. If I go to like manage contributions, Let's go in here, right? I can actually change how much. Okay, so this is where my money's going to go, and then how much do I want to put in? I think now. Maybe I had to do that when I was first starting, right? So if my company, right, if my company, the match. So whatever your match is, that's typically what I would always recommend matching. So if your company's like, we match 6%, like make sure you put 6% of your paycheck into it because it's free money. You're gonna get a free 6% match. Um, if you really just want to max out your 401k, right, each year, right, there's always different ways. If you max it out, right, you're gonna do 19,500 divided by 12 months, right? So you're gonna get like a grand and some change each month. Anyways, thanks for your time. Appreciate it. Have a good one.